Welcome back, all sports fans, YouTubers, Facebookers, all social media across the nation. This is Uneducated Sports Talk. I'm your host, Clayton. And before we get into it, please like and subscribe to Uneducated Network and Uneducated Sports Talk, both on YouTube. Please like and subscribe to both of those channels where you see my show and many other shows in the docket. That being said, guys, it is now playoff time. 17 weeks have come and gone in the NFL schedule. Well, and now we have a massive wild card matchups on the way. And I must say, this is the first time in a long time where we've had basically all four games are going to be epic. There's no clear winner. There's no clear dominant team in the wild card round. Before I make my picks and I tell why and how, let's just be, anybody can win in these games. Anybody. Starting from the Saturday games to the Sunday games. In both games, any team can win. And that makes it that much more intriguing. And that's why the NFL is, the best sport on the planet, to be honest. But the parity in these matchups they're not huge at all. It's small. They're so close together. It doesn't, it's crazy to think that one of these teams are going to be out because each team has had a run. Each team looks good, and I'm confident in just about every team in the playoffs, to be honest. Very confident about every single team on here. So that is a rarity for the NFL to have every single team be a threat to anybody. And I'm really feeling this playoff. So let's talk about Saturday games. First game is the Indianapolis Colts at the Houston Texans. And that's going to be a great game because these teams have seen each other not once, not twice, but the third time seeing each other. I mean, they're a divisional opponent, obviously, which means that there's going to be a lot of familiarity around. People know what they're going to do. The other team knows what you're going to do. All that. So it's just going to be awesome to see these two teams face. Indianapolis, they've been just dynamic over the second half of the season. This team, remember, they started off 1-5, I believe, and they were going nowhere and going nowhere fast. And I think things changed when they lost against Houston. Matter of fact, in overtime, when Frank Reich made that critical fourth down in overtime to go for it, and they missed it, and then Houston kicked a game-winning field goal. Ever since that game happened, and he was on the hot seat, that's about the same time Andrew Luck, his arm started coming back. He started feeling good about himself. Him and T.Y. started getting this great connection. The running game clicked in. The defense clicked in. The O-line, that nasty offensive line, is making that running back and Marlon Mack look very well. They have pass-catching running backs. They have great receivers, great tight ends, and Eric Ebron. This team is pretty much, as of now, they're pretty much complete. There's not a lot of weaknesses. Oh, let's talk about Leonard as well. Darius Leonard from the Colts linebacker. He is a beast himself. So this team, they are locked and loaded, and they're coming hot against an equally hot Houston Texans, where you had Deshaun Watson and DeAndre Hopkins, and these guys, they have inspiration on their side from the little young lady, the 7-year-old who passed away just a couple days ago during a gunshot. They have that now riding with the momentum, and I hate to use that in there, but that is a big thing because at first I thought this game was, in my mind, I had an easy winner. But then you add certain events from the outside world that come in, and now it makes things a lot more tighter going into it. But Deshaun Watson has lost. He's seen Demaryius Thomas go. He's seen Will Fuller go. He's seen his wide receiver core be depleted. He's seen his tight ends being depleted as well. And I'm thinking to myself, where are the weapons? But if Deshaun Watson is the Michael Jordan of the NFL, and I do believe he is going to be a GOAT one of these when it's all said and done. He's one of the greatest of all time. It is time, right? His first playoff performance, and we're going to find out how he is. And I'm so ready for this matchup because we've seen Deshaun Watson at his greatest. I mean, what is more difficult than putting up back-to-back dynamic games and numbers and stat lines against Alabama? College-wise, they're like the 1985 Chicago Bears defense. You get what I'm saying? And he made them look like easy Swiss cheese. So I'm thinking to myself, Deshaun's going to have a big game. It doesn't matter who's around him. Both teams coming very confident. I'm going with the Indianapolis Colts to win it in a nail-biter by a score of 27-24. It might be overtime. It might not be. But I tell you this game is going to be close, and it's going to be good. And I'm so excited. At first, I had the Colts winning, by a decent margin. But But then I thought to myself, man, with the events that happened in Houston over the past couple of days with the young lady, it's tough for the Houston Texans to not perform well. Right? You have some kind of like momentum, some kind of edge that you want to go with. So that right there made it a lot closer for me. I think Houston will battle, and they're very battle tested this year. I think they will battle, but come just short against the Colts. 27-24. I'm looking at the weapons for Houston. They're just not there, in my opinion. If Lamar Miller can get off with his running game, and Deshaun Watson does what Deshaun Watson does best, and that makes plays happen, if the O-line can somehow protect Deshaun Watson, I do believe Houston can win this game. And no, they can win. They can. They're their home team for a reason. But at the end of the day, I think the Colts are going to find a way to win this by a score of 27-24. Our next game, the Seattle Seahawks visit the Dallas Cowboys. In this game, another good one. This one as well can go back and forth. We don't know. But we have Dak Prescott versus Russell Wilson. If you just said that right there, where you're saying, oh, well, Russell Wilson, obviously, he's going to take that. But then you add everybody else against everybody else. Then you're like, man, you know what? Dallas got some guys, man. They got some guys. And Dallas have a running game. We all know that. They have the O-lineman. They have the defense. But then you look at Seattle, you're like, they got a running game by committee. I mean, Chris Carson is on one, but you have Mike Davis as well, who helps out. On Dallas side is Zeke Elliott, only Zeke Elliott that runs the ball for Dallas. But you start looking at wide receivers. Okay, well, they have Baldwin for Seattle. Lockett, all right. Then you see Dallas. They have Mark Cooper and Cole Beasley. And I mean, see what I'm saying? It kind of evens out. It's pretty even. But then you got to go with, okay, well, they got a good linebacker core with Vander Esch, and then you have Vander Esch, and then you have the other linebacker as well, who was doing well, a kid from Notre Dame. And then you have the defense from Seattle, and their great linebacking core, and their secondary who's getting better. And then you're like, okay, well, these two teams are even, so who do you go with? Then you got to go with the home field advantage. I'm going with the Dallas Cowboys to win this game, 24-23. This is a very even matchup, unless you start talking about quarterbacks. Russell Wilson has been there. He has done that. We all know that. 2 Super Bowl appearances, 1 Super Bowl victory. Dak Prescott, hey, his one playoff game, he played a hell of a game against the Green Bay Packers. So all I'm saying is this is going to be a good game. And I think just because Dallas has the home field, if it was opposite, if it was Seattle the home field, I'm going with Seattle. But let's just keep it real. Dallas 7-1 at home this year, so they're playing pretty damn good ball at home. I mean, I can't see how this team doesn't lose that momentum. So I have Dallas winning against Seattle by a score of 24-23. And like I said, it could be a toss-up. It's anyone's game. And I'm just thinking Dallas being at home field advantage. I'm going with Dallas Cowboys to win this game. Let's break down Sunday's games now. Our game 1, which is going to be the Los Angeles Chargers visiting the Baltimore Ravens. How ironic, just 3-4 weeks ago, it was Baltimore visiting the Chargers. And guess what? They demolished them. It didn't look at 22-10. It's not really, that's not really killing somebody. Well, the way it looked like, the way it felt, and the way the Ravens played football, that felt like a beatdown. It did. It's like the Chargers couldn't get anything going on. And it's funny because the Chargers don't have a great home field advantage. We all know that because LA is just not a great home field advantage town. So LA being on the road now, I think it kind of helps them out a whole lot better to be a lot more focused on the road because it's everybody against you. It's not like half and half. It's everyone against you. Then that brings a team's bond together. They had the advantage, though, from seeing Baltimore and seeing Lamar Jackson and the way they run that football. They've seen him now. It'll be the second time. So they have tape on him and say, okay, well, we messed up right here, right here, right here. Let's fix this, this, and this. While the Ravens are saying, well, we look good doing this. Let's continue doing that. And so I think the Chargers have the advantage. But at the same time, you messed up. You had a chance to be the number 1 seed, and you sort of blew it. And thanks to Baltimore winning, obviously, I have Baltimore still winning this game in another close one. I think Baltimore's defense will be ready once again. So you could look at I'm looking more at Baltimore's defense versus the Chargers' offense. Everyone's saying, well, the Ravens offense versus the Chargers defense. I'm like, no, because we all know that they're gonna put up about they'll put up somewhere from 14 to 24 points. I think that's what's going to happen. But then you got to think about it. I'm looking at the Chargers offense. Is Melvin Gordon, is he going to be okay? Is he 100% coming into this game? Because they really, really, really need him. And then I'm looking at the Ravens defense at home. I mean, outside of playing Baker Mayfield and Pat Mahomes, I mean, these guys are good. They are good. So I'm like, I think the Ravens defense once again steps up and they help defeat the Los Angeles Chargers by a score of 20-14. The Ravens will move on. But Lamar Jackson is going to be, he's big time. Phillip Rivers is probably the guy that everyone's rooting for because he hasn't had that Super Bowl ring or even that Super Bowl moment. He's only been to AFC Championship. That was back in 2006, I believe. So a lot of people are rooting for Phillip Rivers. But at the same time, you are what you are. And I think that the Ravens find a way to win this game once again. And they move. In the last game on Sunday, we had the Chicago Bears playing host to the Philadelphia Eagles. This might be the best game because this is kind of like the unknown game. Out of all 4 games, Chicago and Philadelphia are the only game that they haven't seen each other already. Ravens seen the Chargers. We all know Dallas seen Seattle, and we all know that Indianapolis and Houston seen each other 3 times. This is the game that no one has seen each other yet. So this might be the best game on the docket. Philadelphia at Chicago, and these 2 teams are sort of evenly matched. Now, the time schedule is perfect for the Eagles. One, they're a great road team if you look at their history. 2, they're a cold weather team. See their history, see where they play at. They're used to playing in the cold weather. So those 2 factors go against Chicago because if you got New Orleans or the LA Rams going to Chicago, then you got a problem. Here's the better part. They don't play at night. They play in the afternoon, pretty much, around the 3:30, 4:30 mark, depending on your time zone. That's great for Philadelphia as well. All those advantages. They have a D-line that can rush a quarterback, and then they have, Nick Foles. That's the big story. That's the big story going on now. He did have some hurt ribs week 17. My thing is, Nick Foles is going to be ready. But here is the problem. This Chicago Bears defense is just nasty. Oh, my goodness. All those good things, all those factors, and I think it will not matter against Chicago Bears. I think the Bears come in with a great game plan on defense and a better game plan on offense. Being at home in Chicago, Soldier Field will be rocking and rolling over there. And I think Chicago comes in with a mindset of let's just smash these guys on defense from the get-go, get us great spots on the field to take advantage of for the offense, give them good field position. If they play the field position part pretty well, I think Chicago can put up points and points, and I think at the end of the day, Chicago wins this game 24-14 as they move on as well. Everyone's riding Nick Foles' train, and I will be dumb not to, but sometimes I am kind of uneducated. No pun intended. I lied. Pun was definitely intended. But with that being said, I got Nick Foles and the Eagles getting bounced out against Chicago. Chicago, I think, is too much on defense. That defense, and them playing last week against the Vikings and knocking the Vikings out of the playoffs, that let me know with everything. I was like, okay, this team is ready. They are the big dogs of the NFC North. They went in there and punked the Vikings in Minnesota, played all their starters and say, you know what? We're not going to rest no matter what's going on with the Rams against the 49ers. We're going to keep kicking ass, and that is what they did, and they make it look easy and they make it look fun. Last week's show, I said, what am I looking forward to for the AFC? I'm looking forward to Deshaun Watson acting a fool. I want to see Michael Jordan of the NFL. That's what I want. And then for the NFC, what I'm watching for, I said it's the Chicago Bears defense. I want to see these guys fly around and knock some heads out. In a day and age where offense is king, well, when you come to the playoff, it's defense that's king. I think the Chicago Bears take this one, and it's going to be an easy match of 24-14 as they move on. But then again, like I said, be careful because it's the Eagles team. There's a lot of magic going on and a lot of Nick Foles magic. I can't explain it, but Nick Foles is doing an awesome job with his team, and it's going to be very interesting during the offseason who they stick with. So this game, if he goes into Chicago and he wins this game, Nick Foles is your starting quarterback next year for the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm telling you right now. That being said, we're gonna the Elite Eight, I call it, or the NFC, the AFC divisional rounds. It's gonna go like this: with Indianapolis win, they're gonna go ahead and visit Kansas City, and then that makes Baltimore visit the New England Patriots, and those will be really great matches once again. In the NFC, the way I got it, Chicago with the win is going to visit the Rams, and Dallas is going to visit New Orleans. And these teams in the NFC, they've seen each other before, but I think it'll be different, maybe different. We'll talk about it if it happens. So, but what are you guys most excited for this AFC and NFC wildcard matchups? Let me know down in the comment below, man, because let me know. Just it's gonna be a great matchup. I'm usually I can talk, but these matchups I'm just so excited for it. I cannot wait for tomorrow. It's gonna be awesome, and then Sunday as well. So you guys get your popcorn ready, like T.O. says, because it's gonna be a really, really good weekend. That being said, please like and subscribe to Uneducated Network and Uneducated Sports Talk to see my show, Uneducated Sports Talk, hosted by Carlos Clayton. And that being said, sports fans, y'all know what time it is. Stay smart, stay uneducated. Peace.